Have you seen what's happening with gold? This is unbelievable. Gold has exploded. I made a video last month covering gold reaching $3,000 for the first time in history. And now it's coming back again. This precious metal is dominating everything in 2025. And it looks like it's set to go much higher because something very interesting is happening. There's a major shortage of gold that no one is talking about. Let me explain. In this video, we will cover the latest gold updates. We'll look at the recent spike in gold prices and the possible reason behind this increase. If you want to stay updated on the most important news in crypto and the markets, then make sure you subscribe. Alright, let's start with the big question. Where is the gold price heading towards? Well, the answer is simple. Keep going up. That's right, gold hit a new record high this week. The price of gold is now touching $3,000 per ounce. And if you think that's crazy, wait until you hear this. In February 2025, the price of gold has been fluctuating between $2,800 and $3,000. Now, there are different opinions on whether gold will continue to climb or see a correction. Some believe that the recent surge in prices has already factored in future expectations, making a pullback more likely. While others argue that the underlying factors driving the increase in gold prices, such as geopolitical tensions, central bank policies, and investor sentiment, remain strong enough to support further growth. But let me share with you the gold price prediction from renowned banks and financial institutions. Goldman Sachs raised its gold targets for 2025, forecasting the price to reach $3,500 per ounce by December. HSBC also increased its forecast to $3,500. The World Bank is even more optimistic, projecting a whopping $4,000 gold price by 2025. All this shows that the consensus among experts is that gold prices will continue to rise. However, it is important to consider that these are just forecasts, and actual results may vary depending on various factors that will impact the gold market in the coming months. All right. Now let us dive into the fascinating world of gold and find out why everyone is suddenly interested in this shiny metal. We will explore why commercial planes are flying gold from London to New York, why the US is paying a premium for gold, and what it means for investors like you. You definitely don't want to miss this. Before we get into that, let's quickly check the current price of gold. Alright, so let's take a snapshot of the gold price. At the time of this recording, gold is trading at $2,925. Remember, this number is constantly changing. If you want to see the live price of gold, check the link in the description below. Now let's talk about why everyone is interested in gold. In recent months, the price of gold has been steadily increasing, and there is a lot of hype surrounding this precious metal. Commercial planes are being used to transport gold from London to New York, where it is sold at record prices. It seems like everyone is talking about gold these days. But why is this happening? Well, there are many factors at play. One of the main reasons is the current geopolitical situation. There is a lot of tension and uncertainty in the world right now, and investors are looking for a safe place to put their money. Gold has always been seen as a safe investment during times of trouble, and that's why its price is going up. Additionally, central banks around the world are taking steps to protect their economies, and some of them are turning to gold to help them do this. For example, countries like China, Russia, and India are buying more gold than ever before. And finally, people are starting to realize that gold can be a good way to protect your wealth. When other investments are losing value, gold often goes up in price, which makes it an attractive option for investors who want to preserve their money. Next, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Here is a chart showing gold's price over the past 150 years. What do you notice? If you look closely, you can see that the chart looks similar to the chart of another asset, Bitcoin. Why is that? Well, both assets face the same problem. Currencies fall in value over time, but gold and Bitcoin are scarce assets whose value tends to go up. This brings us to the next interesting thing. What does the real price of gold look like? Here's a chart showing how gold prices peaked in 1980, adjusted for inflation. 1980 peak equals $3,420 today. That means the real price of gold is actually higher than it was in 1980. This is really interesting because it shows that gold's price has the power to keep up with inflation. So when you buy gold, you know that its value will not be eaten away by rising prices. Speaking of rising prices, let's check out how gold has performed recently. 1 year ago, gold was trading at around $1,550 per ounce. And today it's worth almost double that, $2,925. That's an impressive performance. Gold is up 45% in just a year, making it one of the best performing assets of 2025. You might be wondering, how could gold keep going up in price, even when interest rates are high? Usually, high interest rates make gold less attractive to investors. But this time, it's different. Take a look at this chart showing gold prices compared to interest rates. You can see that gold prices are still going up, even though interest rates have been on the rise. In fact, the correlation between gold and interest rates is broken down completely. Even as bond yields keep climbing, gold keeps climbing too. It's like they're no longer related. So why is gold doing so well? Well, one reason is that people want to protect their money from risks. When things feel unstable, they turn to gold because it's been valuable for a long time, and most people trust it. Plus, there's a limited amount of gold, so it won't disappear like paper money sometimes does. Another reason is that central banks worldwide are getting interested in gold again. They're buying it to keep their countries safe and sound. For example, China, Russia, and India are buying lots of gold. In fact, they've bought more than 1,000 tons in 2024 alone. That's a big deal. Let's look closer at these countries. Poland is leading the way, stockpiling gold to shield itself from the US dollar. Turkey is following suit, and other countries like China and India are buying gold to keep their money safe. This increased demand is pushing up the price of gold. The United States is also buying gold, but not as much as these other countries. Despite this, the US has recently paid a lot more for gold, nearly $90 more per ounce than other countries. That's a significant amount. Why is that happening? Well, it's because people in the US are worried about tariffs on gold. They're afraid that the government might add extra charges when they import gold, making it more expensive. Because of this, traders in the US are asking for real gold bars instead of paper gold. They want to hold actual gold in their hands. To meet this demand, gold is being shipped to New York from London. However, there's a problem. The amount of gold in New York is overflowing, and there's nowhere else to send it. All the gold stored in New York is being used up. It's like a sponge that has soaked up all the available gold. As a result, there's a huge buildup of gold in New York. For example, here's a chart showing gold inventory in London and New York. You can see that since January, a lot of gold has left London and arrived in New York. In fact, more than 300 tons of gold have moved from London to New York in the last few months. That's a lot of gold. And here's a graph showing the difference between London and New York gold prices. You can see that at times the price of gold in the US was $90 higher than in London, so that's a big difference. And it shows that the US is having trouble getting enough gold. So why are US traders buying so much gold? Well, one reason is that they're worried about tariffs. As I mentioned earlier, they're afraid that the government might raise prices on imported gold. Because of this, they want to buy gold now before it becomes more expensive. Another reason is that they want to protect themselves from inflation. When inflation is high, the price of everything goes up, and gold is one of the best ways to keep your money safe. Alright, so what does this mean for you? Well, this gold rush shows that people want to protect their money, and they return into gold to do it. It also shows that the US is having trouble getting enough gold, and that's driving up prices. Speaking of gold, have you ever wondered if there's a digital version of gold? Something that's easier to buy and store? Well, there is, and it's called Bitcoin. Like gold, Bitcoin is scarce and can't be controlled by any government. It's also easy to move around the world and store safely. If you want to explore the world of Bitcoin, then check out the link in the description below. You can use the code provided to sign up and buy Bitcoin today. Don't miss out on this opportunity to own a piece of the future. Thank you for watching, and remember, stay tuned for more updates.